Okay, so my name is Stacey. It's S-T-A-C-E-Y, Stegman, S-T-E-G-M-A-N. You can say spokesperson with Denver International Airport. I was just making sure he didn't have any information we hadn't heard yet. Okay, I'm going to first recap what has gone on today. So today, about 2:19 p.m., we got a call from TSA of a suspicious package or packages. So we immediately evacuated the west side of the terminal between gates between doors 600 and 610. We evacuated all passengers on both levels 5 and level 6. That includes a ticket counter at American Airlines, as well as a bunch of office space. We also closed the baggage claim area on level 5. So airlines now are delivering baggage to the east side for those so that we can still keep our operation running. The other thing we did was we closed down the roadways into the terminal on level 5 and level 6 to eliminate anything from this area until we could evaluate the situation. DPD is on scene. DPD bomb squad is here, and they have been sweeping the area and currently are looking at the packages that have been identified. So we hope to hear from them soon at this time. So that's where we kind of are at the moment. And I think the other thing maybe to mention, the airlines that were affected today were American Airlines, Aeromexico, Air Canada, Lufthansa, British Airways. Those are the ones that have been affected. So there could be some flight delays possible because some of these airlines will be holding flights waiting for passengers for this incident too.
What about United? I just read.
So United has been affected, but not as significantly down on that north end is where the bulk of this has occurred.
Can you reiterate, is it multiple packages or just one package?
We believe there to be several packages. Yeah.
Can you tell us where they were? Were these checked bags? Were they?
So I don't have that level of detail yet. We're still waiting for that, but it was in front of one of the airline ticket counters.
Now, we've heard information that canines have had a positive hit on the packages. Could you elaborate on that?
We will confirm other information shortly as soon as we get a little bit more detail.
Are you saying that they were, in fact, baggage or packages?
All we know, it was described to us as packages.
Is there any estimation of how long?
We are really hoping that we should know any minute now, as these packages now are going through screening, and we are hoping to have word at any time.
Now, some people were asking if it was a really big situation, you might have cleared out the entire airport, so you maybe not feel it's that serious.
So I think we evaluate every situation and just make a judgment call. And I want to say that on any day of the week, any time, this is what we would do. This is our standard procedure for anything suspicious.
You said any day of the week, any time, but considering what happened in Belgium this morning, how does that impact your response?
Well, I think what we would just say is we're not making any ties right now or any connections. What we're saying is we are just looking at this particular incident and would respond like this on any day if this incident occurred.
Is there a heightened level of security, though?
We do not have anything that we are doing differently today.
So, Stacey, one report, you said ticket counter, but another said check-in, the curbside check-in. Do you know which it was?
So I guess that's a good question. It was reported as a ticket counter, but that's something that we need to confirm.
Okay, because there are reports of both.
Yeah, then we will check that for sure.
Was it something that was called in by a passenger, or was it something that
It was reported by TSA to the airport.
Did they say what was suspicious about the packages?
They did not. They did not.
Can you just talk about what goes into making that decision to evacuate and what has to happen to get all those people out?
That's a good question.
Public concern. Anytime we have a situation where we're concerned for the public and we feel like there's something credible, well, they'll take the necessary precautions in a situation like this. In this case, we felt like it was necessary. The alert was strong enough that we felt like the precautions were necessary to close down part of the airport. Working in conjunction with DIA as well as the airlines, that subsequently went ahead and made that decision.
Can you tell us what units DPD have here?
Right now, we have our bomb squad out here. We have our traffic units as well as the officers who work at DIA. We have a good contingent of officers. It was a full response. We don't take situations like this lightly. We want to make sure that people know they can be safe, and we'll respond as accordingly.
What options do passengers have now? I know that's more of an operations question, but is there anybody to talk about that and what potential passengers that keep boarding passes need to do?
Yeah. I mean, I think there is a delay for the airlines affected on this side for the check-in counters. So for those with outbound flights, that's what we're saying is they have to wait a little bit. Airlines typically would either hold the plane or rebook them, and that's an airline by airline decision. Baggage claim, the airlines did coordinate amongst each other, and that's why baggage then got moved to the east side for delivery to not delay those passengers that were arriving.
Has there been a number of flights canceled so far yet?
There have not.
answer my question, basically, in terms of actual airport operations, takeoffs and landings, the only effect has been delays because of check-in?
Mostly, yes. I think, usually there's a ripple effect if you hold one flight, but we don't have those quantified yet on exactly what the airlines have chosen to do or what that's going to look like.
And from the DPD, I'm sorry, I didn't get your name.
Sonny Jackson.
Sonny, can you spell it?
Sure, SONNY, public information.
And can you define a hit? A sniffer dog got a hit. What does mean?
That would be basically a dog smells something that is concerning. It could be anything from explosive to chemical. Depends on what it is. So if a dog smells something that's concerning, then no, that's what we consider as a hit.
Can you just talk about, and I know I was asking this question, but I kind of wanted to ask you too, what does it take to evacuate the terminal, and what did you have to do?
So, it happens quickly, and I think that's the good thing is we have so many groups out here that are trained every day for this type of thing. So you deal with our contracted employees, you deal with our security, you deal with law enforcement, and so we immediately start evacuating counter by counter of the areas and telling people that they need to leave the area, set up perimeters around, and then also we have quite a bit of office space out here that we thankfully have very easy access through email and other methods to reach those people.
Go pretty quietly without anybody panicking.
Right. I think the airport has, situations occasionally, and we always take a very, very conservative approach to them because we're not going to take a chance on passenger safety. And so we do this a lot.
How many times has it been evacuated? A full terminal?
Full terminal. If you look at a tornado, we do it for a tornado.
But for a security threat?
I don't have those numbers.
Can you
So
tell us
at
what
my
other
last
agencies-
count, you have FBI, TSA, Denver Police, and the DIA Airport Authority, I guess. Who's in charge out there?
Law enforcement is in charge of the
Those
city.
are Denver Police, correct?
So Denver Police is the agency that's in charge of whatever is in the packages.
Sure. At this point in time, we're evaluating the packages. Our bomb squad is taking.
Mr. Paul Smith, please pick up a white courtesy telephone or go to an airport information booth. Smith, Mr. Paul Smith.
Sorry, start from the beginning.
No, at this point in time, Denver Police bomb squad is out there looking at the packages. They're evaluating them. Basically, that's what they do every day. They look at situations like this, and they'll do various ways of evaluating what's inside of those packages. And they'll look at them and see if there's anything we should be concerned about. Once they get that to us, then we'll decide where we go from there.
Can you confirm what other agencies are here?
As she said before, you've got several agencies. We work closely with FBI. We work closely with TSA. We'll work with any other DEA if need be. So it runs the gamut. It depends on what we need to have here.
I'm sorry, you said packages.
Right.
How many?
Well, I don't have an exact number. They're looking
More
at
than
more than one, but there's several. So we're looking at that and to determine what might be there that's of concern.
And you referenced outside. Are you aware if they're in or out?
I understand it's in the proximity of the counter and the doorways. Okay.
I just have one more question. I know you said that your day-to-day operations were not impacted by what happened in Belgium, but still I know you talk with other airports, you talk with Homeland Security. What have those conversations been in light of what happened?
That's a very good question. Some of that is done at levels that I am not involved in, so I don't know. I know that obviously this morning we did have conversations with TSA. The outcome of those conversations I can't say at this time.
So let's ask the question a little differently. In terms of what happened in Belgium, for the people who are flying out of this airport, do they need to start arriving earlier, or what should they do in response to what's going on the other side of the Atlantic?
So we have not changed security procedures as a result of any incident in Belgium today. So we always tell people arrive 2 hours in advance under any circumstance, just sometimes you have long lines. And this should give you adequate time if you get delayed for some reason.
When can we expect things to go back to normal operating? I mean, that's just a kind of crapshoot at this point, or what? Where are you guys at?
We're relatively close, we believe, but we want to do everything right. We have to make sure we do it right, so we ask people to just be patient. As soon as we get it done, we'll let you know.
Okay.
So, Stacey, you're telling people call their airlines that are on that are affected to see what they're doing, because you don't quite know what they're doing yet.
Yeah, check your airline. I think we are going to see some traffic delays potentially in this area since we have this side of the terminal closed. That could cause some delays, as well as general check-in delays. And so we do want people to get here early, but we should have word hopefully fairly soon.
I'm sorry, we just found out that there's a plane making an emergency landing from San Francisco. What do you know about that?
I don't, because I am not checking my phone like that, but I will find out in a minute.
Do you know if there's at least been one cancellation thus far?
I don't know, but we will confirm that. I'll call that in now.
Well, let's give us a few minutes. We'll get back to you guys.
Great, thank you so
you.
much. Appreciate it.